Episode 12, Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Absolutely fantastic episode. A really well-rounded episode. Just the comedy beats in there, some emotional points, which honestly for me, it got me multiple times. I think like a total of 3 times this episode got me kind of teary-eyed. Really emotional episode, but again, in there, just a lot of heart and a lot of funny moments. And my gosh, the animation. The animation of this episode was absolutely incredible. Mostly around Frieren. When she's in that room with Fern, it's like, why is the animation so freaking good right now? Whatever animator did that scene just went crazy with it. Just the smug faces, the smug faces from Fern in this episode were so good. So many giftable moments. But yeah, let's jump into the episode proper. Opening up the episode with Fern, and Stark as they're traveling through the mountains. And eventually, yes, Fern falls asleep. I feel bad. Like, this is like an ongoing joke, but at the same time, I'm starting to feel bad for Stark because he's a good boy. But it seems like Fern always thinks that he's a pervert, but he's just a kid. Like, he just wants to have fun and enjoy things that he enjoys. But no, like, even like this whole situation with like carrying Frieren is like, Stark's like, here, I can carry her in my arms. Don't worry about that. I can carry her. At first, I thought it was Fern not wanting Stark to carry Frieren because she'd be jealous. Like, he had the whole puffy face thing going on. So I assumed it was just Fern being jealous of Stark even carrying Frieren. But no, it's just more the fact that she thinks that he's a pervert. He's like, I just want to help. Let me help. I have arms. Let me help. I can carry her. I will have to say, though, as per usual, Fern just, I don't know, just girl's built. Like, the girl's built because she can carry a lot of things. I mean, she carried Stark before. Now she's carrying Frieren like nothing. But yeah, I feel bad for Stark. Like, he's not a bad kid. But no, they eventually get to a village, and specifically the village that carries the sword, the hero's sword. And I immediately the chief's voice, bam, hit me. I was like, it's Roxy. I love Roxy Sousou. Her voice just melts me. And so the moment that I heard her come out of that girl, I was like, yes, it's Roxy. We have Peak in Frieren, and it's Roxy's voice. Now, unfortunately, she's a side character, so literally that's probably the only time we'll ever see her, but I was still happy to hear her. But now this is when we start to get into the hero sword itself. Most of the backstory itself centers around the first moments in which they left the king. The king was only offered them 10 copper, which they mentioned before, that the kingdom like totally cheaped out on them because so many heroes has come and gone. They didn't want to give any more money to all these people, so they only got 10 copper. But then it starts to get into Himmel as a character and the desire for the hero sword. That when he was young, he saved a merchant from a monster. The merchant gave him this replica of the hero sword, which basically Hater called him the fake hero with the fake sword. So that apparently was the whole reason why Himmel went on this journey. The whole reason why this world is saved is because Hater made fun of Himmel. It is kind of a nice thing. I always like that idea of something always coming from sort of odd beginnings. It's not that Himmel one day woke up because he had a dream from a goddess that said, you will be the hero. No, it's literally just Himmel had this sword that was a replica, and Hater made fun of him. Hater went on to be a priest and everything, and Himmel went on to be the hero, all because of this one moment. It is kind of comical in that regard, but yeah, that was the beginnings of it. And that all kind of led to him going, well, I'll become the real hero. Which technically still kind of comes into play as they find out the hero sword is still there. Which I knew the moment they got to that town, I was like, the hero sword is going to still be there. I just, for some reason, knew that sword was probably not pulled. The moment that Fern said that she never heard the story of Himmel pulling the sword from Hater, I knew it. Like, there would had to be a reason why Hater told them all the stories about their journeys, but not this one. Not this one that Stark is so familiar with. It makes sense if Hater knew that Himmel never pulled the sword. Now, it also even works even more so in the idea that this is such a well-known story that Hater himself would go out of his way not to say it. Because obviously the story itself is told to cover up the fact that he never pulled it. This is this thing that would embarrass the hero that saved this area. Hater wouldn't tell the story because he knows it's fake. So it all makes perfect sense. Like I said, that moment right there, it kind of solidified it. And yes, we find out after they find the sword still there, which you could have said that he put the sword back after he was done with it. No, that's when we find out that yes, Himmel came there, wanted to pull the real sword, finally have the real hero's sword, but he couldn't pull it. He was once again another failure that came and never pulled it. But unlike many, he chose that point. Well, who cares? I'm still going to take down the Demon Lord. I'm still going to fight. I'll be the fake hero. That's fine. I'm still going to go fight. Which is, again, more credit to Himmel as a character. At the same time, kind of emphasizing this idea of revisionist history. This idea of these darker sides of heroes that nobody wants to know. It's not a dark side. It's just more of an embarrassing side. How embarrassing it would be that Himmel, the hero that saved the world, never pulled the sword. And there's even an argument to be made that maybe some would claim that he wasn't even the hero that killed the Demon Lord because he never had the hero sword. So obviously something is fake about him. They would start to question him as a hero. So it all kind of makes sense in a grander scheme. But no, the chief brings him in and yes, starts making. I was like, are we gonna have like, I don't know, maybe a halfling race or something like that? This girl is talking about how like you said that you'd be here after a century, you never showed up. I'm a patient person, but even I have my limits. That's what my grandma said. I was like, are they going with this whole thing of this little cute girl that's got Roxy's voice, a Magrudian kind of voice, and yet she's gonna probably have that long lifespan too? No, that's what her grandma always said. But no, apparently Frieren was supposed to come back after 50 years because the hero's sword draws in monsters, which, yes, technically makes sense. This idea, this thing that is supposed to be wielded by the hero, it has some sort of aura, power about it that draws monsters because they want to destroy it. They don't want the hero to have it. But it's always been blocked, so they're still kind of there. And yeah, Frieren says, okay, I'll handle it. That's fine. Destroy the new Lord of the Mountain who claims himself to be the Lord of the Mountain when he's only been there for 80 years. Frieren's like, you child, how dare you take on that title? But no, they eventually go to the next town, and that's when we find out that, yes, Stark apparently has his birthday, his 18th birthday. And Frieren's a little mad about this. Frieren's like, you should have told me so that I could have got him something. But Frieren's got a plan. Frieren has a plan. She's like, I got this all planned out. Again, that animation, her just kind of turning around, the kicking feet, the turning around, the jumping off the bed, running over there, flinging up the thing, pulling all this stuff out of it, and then just holding out this potion and saying, my master told me that men like this kind of thing. And she has this smug grin on. It was so good. The animation was so good. The many faces of Frieren that I absolutely love, but that was just, the animation there was just absolutely incredible. But no, Fern takes it and pours on top of Frieren, and unfortunately, due to television restrictions, we shall not see anything that unfolds after that. Yeah, Fern thinks it's a pervert. But now this is where we get in that, like, troublesome area of, like, man, this story seems to be pushing Fern and Stark so hard. Like, they are shipping the two of them so insanely. That Fern's walking around, seeing all the great things that Stark has done since he came there, helping this lady move her cart, getting a cat down, playing with some kids, all this great stuff that he's doing. She's like, Frieren's so mean. Frieren would be willing to give that guy that potion. He's not like that. It was almost like Fern herself is like defending Stark, saying that that's not the kind of person he is. Stark's a good person. And then, of course, yes, that's all shattered. I knew the moment that she walked up to Stark, I'm like, what's going to happen? Is he looking over the edge at like a bathhouse or something like that? No. That cloud looks like poops. That one looks like poop. Yeah, completely shatters every if he didn't call that out loud, they would probably have like some romantic moment here, but no. He had to ruin the moment. We can't have them be shipped this early. That was kind of a gut punch. But no, she finally decides that he's not a perv. He's just a kid. So it's fine. Go out there. He wants to call out to her. Hey, look, that looks like stop. But no, this one we'll get into like a deeper story about Stark, which I thought was, again, earlier hit me multiple times. The first time it hit me in this episode was that first brief moment we seen Frieren and the heroes partying, they're walking, and you have that kind of the music kicking up and Himmel's turning around and Hydra's turning around. Everybody's kind of, laughing. They're enjoying their time together. It kind of just calls back to something that has been lost. And that obviously was very emotional. But yeah, this is where we get into Stark and his history with his family and the idea that he never got presents, neither from his family nor from Eisen, which we find out that's a lie. But it was all stemming around the fact that his family, his village, was a village of warriors. And it kind of seemed like it's probably going to be the same case as something that happened with Frieren's village, that probably the Demon Lord sent his army to go take out Stark's village. Because similar to Frieren, probably seen them as a threat, that's why they sent them to take them out. But yeah, he grew up with his family not like him, like especially his dad. His dad thought that he was a failure versus his brother, which his brother was amazing. He was a great warrior. He could take down this monster, not even get a speck of dirt on him, no blood on him, which I knew when they were saying that stuff that something's going to come up. There was so much emphasis on the idea that this dude was able to destroy things and not get a speck of dirt on him. The father said that specifically his cloak being clean is a sign of how powerful he is because he's that good. He's that talented. But yeah, looking upon Stark, he's the failure. And as his father's kind of walking home, he's like, look, I'm going I'm going to train my brother. He's like, yeah, he's a failure. You're going to waste your time, whatever. I'm going back home. And then, yeah, Stark swings at something and splashes right on his shirt. And I was like, oh, I was like, it's one of those moments where it's like, okay, which direction is the writer going to go? Like, you see that something like that happen, all that emphasis put on how clean his cloak is, and the moment that Stark puts dirt on it, what direction we're going? Are we going that the brother is actually a really good dude, or are we going to go the direction that the brother is just like the rest of them, and he's going to beat the fire out of Stark? No. It went even further than the first example, and the idea that not only did the brother not mind it, like he's seen it, he's like, ah, okay. Not only that, but he gets down on his knees, like he crouches down next to his brother, and his whole cape gets in the mud. And it was like, oof, emphasizing it even more so in the idea of like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Get down lower. Let me get it more dirty. I don't care. I'm going to help my brother out. I'm going to help him see where he's going wrong. You need to prove your stance or whatever. It was just, the moment that he kneeled down, I was like, oh gosh, brother's a good boy too. It is unfortunate though that's pretty much the story of the brother though. I would love to have seen more of him, but unfortunately, yeah, as we find out, the demons come to attack. And as we find out later on, that more so in the idea that the brother actually told Stark to run away. We've always known that Stark ran away. He even told Fern, I ran away from my family. The reason why they think that I'm weak, they never gave me presents, is because they were right. I am weak. I am useless. That's why they would have never, throw me a celebration. I ran from all of them. I even ran from my brother. The only one in the family that I thought was kind to me was my brother. And I even ran from him. No, it was more than that. The brother told him to run. The brother wanted him to survive. Told him to flee from there, which is, yes, even another, the next part that got me emotionally, oof, right in the stomach again. It was so good. But yeah, that all kind of ties into the gifts themselves, which is Stark kind of realizing that, no, there is something more to all this. As they come back and Frieren has made him a massive hamburger steak, and he points out that it is pretty much what it's all about. Every birthday, this is what it's about. Eisen always made these for me. The deeper meaning behind it is what Frieren reveals to them, that this is something that Eisen, tradition from his people, and this is what they make for warriors that do a good job. Warriors that fight really hard. Those that work really hard in their lives. This is a great gift. And yes, something that his brother made for him. So he did receive gifts from his brother. He did receive gifts from Eisen. He just didn't receive gifts from any of the rest of the family because the brother was literally doing it and saying, don't tell the family, keep it quiet. But no, at least his brother and Eisen cared for him. And not only that, but it technically is them seeing him as a warrior. Well, Eisen specifically, seeing him as a warrior. Kind of curious if the brother knew about that tradition from the dwarves, because it's very specific to do something like that when that's something that's kind of tied in with the dwarves. But it was really cool. Very emotional moment. Him sitting there eating the hamburger steak, and it is emotional. But no, it had to cap it off with her pulling out the potion again. Fern's like, I'm gonna pour it on you. Put that away. I'm gonna pour it on you. It was really good, really good. A lot of emotion in this episode. Really fantastic episode overall. But yeah, excellent episode. Love hearing Konomi Kohara. Loved the segment with Stark and his family, well, at least his brother, and Eisen was really fantastic. Additionally, yes, a lot of goofy moments for Frieren. Some great little backstory with her and Himmel, really emphasizing on the idea of him as a hero. And again, the goofy startings, which is always good. And then, yes, more shipping between Fern and Stark. I just this needs to happen. This needs to happen already. But really cute episode. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic animation, presentation. The music, as always, is always top notch. And I cannot wait for more. But yeah, that was episode 12 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does, and y'all take care.